Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and look at a really fascinating economic puzzle. We're going to break down how a deeply personal, everyday household tradition completely intersects with the complex world of global economics. It's a wild connection, honestly.
So, why on earth would a country actually worry if its people buy too much gold? I mean, buying gold feels like a really safe, responsible thing to do, right? But as we're going to see, when millions of people make this deeply personal and cultural choice all at once, it actually triggers massive macroeconomic consequences that can literally shake an entire nation's financial foundations. Especially in India, gold isn't just some shiny metal. It's an emotion. It's deeply woven right into the fabric of society. It serves as a vital way to save, a marker of status, and an absolute necessity for families during weddings and festivals. In fact, bridal jewelry makes up the vast majority of domestic gold demand. But this massive cultural appetite, it comes with a hidden cost.
To really understand the core problem here, let's look at a simple family budget analogy. Imagine a family bringing in 50,000 rupees a month, but suddenly their basic everyday expenses like fuel double. At that exact same time, the family decides to spend 70,000 rupees buying expensive, luxury jewelry from a jeweler outside their own city. So what happens? Well, their savings shrink, their debt piles up, and the whole household comes under severe financial pressure simply because they're spending their wealth outside their boundaries.
Now, countries operate a whole lot like that family. India actually imports the overwhelming majority of the gold it consumes from other countries. And unlike buying goods made right at home, every single ounce of that imported gold has to be paid for in foreign currency, primarily US dollars. So every single time a citizen buys imported gold, wealth flows completely out of the country.
And this brings us to a huge economic concept, the trade deficit. Don't worry, it's actually pretty simple. When a country buys or imports more goods from the outside than it sells or exports, it creates a trade deficit. Basically, more money is going out than coming in. And when you combine massive gold imports with other really expensive necessities like crude oil, it puts the entire national budget under extreme stress.
Here is exactly how this creates a dangerous chain reaction. Step 1. We import gold, meaning dollars go out. Step 2. We try to export goods to bring dollars back in, but it's just not enough to cover those massive import bills. And step 3 is where it really hurts. When we demand more foreign dollars to pay for all this gold, the value of the Indian rupee drops. And when the rupee weakens, everything else the country imports, like electronics, medicines, fertilizers, suddenly becomes way more expensive, driving up inflation for absolutely everyone.
I want you to just think about the sheer scale of this problem. $72 billion. No, seriously, $72 billion. That staggering number is India's massive gold import bill for the FY26 financial year alone. To put that into perspective, gold makes up nearly 10% of India's total import bill. That makes it one of the country's largest non-essential imports.
But here is a totally fascinating twist. The actual physical amount of gold imported into India recently went down by nearly 5%, yet the import bill surged by 24%. Why? Because global gold prices absolutely skyrocketed due to international conflicts and uncertainty. So even though Indians bought fewer physical tons of gold, the sky-high global prices meant the country still suffered a massive, expanding dollar drain.
And this leads us to why economists get so concerned about all this. See, physical gold is heavily classified as a non-productive asset. Think about it. Money invested in factories, startups, roads, businesses, and education actively builds the economy. It creates jobs. But physical gold? It just sits idle. Its wealth securely locked away in cupboards and home lockers. It doesn't directly help productive economic activity.
Let's put this into a real-life scenario to really show the difference. Imagine person A buys 5 lakh rupees worth of physical gold and locks it away in a cupboard. That money is safe, sure, but it's asleep. Now look at person B. They take that same 5 lakh rupees and invest it into a small local business. That money buys equipment, it hires employees, it circulates within the community. It actively creates local jobs and drives economic growth. See the difference?
And this exact dynamic is why the Prime Minister actually made a public appeal to pause gold buying for a year. Now, to be absolutely clear, the government never completely banned gold buying. It was an appeal. The real message was just to avoid excessive dependence on imported physical gold. It was a way to protect the nation's foreign exchange reserves during a time of intense global uncertainty and surging crude oil prices.
But hey, fortunately, pausing physical gold purchases doesn't mean you can't invest in gold at all. there are some incredibly smart, beginner-friendly alternatives that both the government and financial experts highly encourage. We're talking about sovereign gold bonds, which are actually government-backed securities, gold ETFs, which are basically mutual funds that track gold prices, and digital gold investments.
What's really fantastic about these alternatives is how they safely track gold prices, and some even earn you extra interest, like the 2.5% per year you get with sovereign gold bonds. But more importantly, from a macro level, they keep your money actively working inside India's financial system. They allow you to invest without triggering that harmful outflow of US dollars. It's a win-win.
So ultimately, yes, gold is emotionally valuable for Indians, but a strong, resilient economy, that's even more valuable. Balancing personal traditions with economic awareness is absolutely key. So the next time you think about adding to your physical gold collection, maybe ask yourself, is there a way I can secure my family's wealth while also keeping my country's economy strong?